No co? Ruszamy?
To włączę.
Dobra. Good afternoon. Do you hear us good? Hear us good and see us good? Okay. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marcin Wielec and I am a professor of criminal procedure at the Faculty of Law and Administration of the Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński University in Warsaw. And I also hold the honorable function of the director of the Institute of Justice in Warsaw. On behalf of the entire management and on behalf of all employees of the Institute of Justice in Warsaw, I would like to welcome you very warmly to the inauguration of the next edition of the research project conducted by our institute under the name of the Polish-Hungarian Research Platform. To jest już nasza trzecia edycja Polsko-Węgierskiej Platformy Badawczej. W tym roku zajmujemy się 4 tematami. Pierwszy jest to ochrona rolników, drugi jest to problematyka ustawodawstwa, regulacji prawnych kwestii dzieci z niepełnosprawnościami. Trzeci to jest przeciwdziałanie przestępczości, cyberprzestępczości. I czwarty to jest wolność sumienia, ale w takim aspekcie instytucjonalnym. Jak widać, wszystkie te 4 obszary są ważne i nawet jak to śledzi media, tak, rozmowy są aktualne z punktu widzenia społecznego, ale także z punktu widzenia prawnego, potrzeb nowych regulacji, potrzeb wprowadzenia czy korekcji pewnych rozwiązań prawnych, które są w tej chwili w tych 4 obszarach. Są bardzo ważnymi wyzwaniami i bardzo ważnymi kwestiami, które wymagają albo odnowienia, albo uzupełnienia, albo jakiejś takiej dużej korekcji tych rozwiązań prawnych, które są w tej chwili obowiązujące w tych obszarach. Platforma jest formą współpracy pomiędzy naukowcami, wybitnymi naukowcami, jednymi z najlepszych z Polski i z Węgier. Celem naszym jest wzmocnienie nie tylko tej współpracy naukowej, ale też rozwinięcie sieci przyjaźni naukowej.
Information about all teams. At the request of the Ministry of Justice of Republic of Poland, after numerous consultation, we propose research in the following areas: legal protection of farmers, legal protection of children with disabilities, freedom of conscience in the institutional aspect, cybercrime. W tym roku możemy powiedzieć zgodnie z tradycją, bo to już trzecia edycja Platformy Polsko-Węgierskiej, weźmie udział 24 profesorów, badaczy z Polski i z Węgier. Pracujemy na zasadzie bilateralizmu, to znaczy jest 12 specjalistów różnych dziedzin z Polski i 12 specjalistów z Węgier podzielonych na 4 zespoły badawcze. Ja będę współpracował przede wszystkim z zespołem, który będzie badał wolność sumienia w wymiarze instytucjonalnym. To nowe badania w Polsce. Niewielu ekspertów podejmowało przymiarki do analizowania wolności sumienia w wymiarze wspólnotowym, więc spodziewam się tutaj bardzo ciekawych wyników, biorąc pod uwagę, że specjaliści prawa wyznaniowego i konstytucyjnego i z Polski, i z Węgier wezmą udział w tych badaniach. W Europie sumienie do tej pory było chronione przede wszystkim w wymiarze indywidualnym. Wszyscy się tym praktycznie zajmowali, zarówno na poziomie prawa krajowego, jak i prawa europejskiego, w cudzysłowie oczywiście. Mam tutaj na myśli Europejską Konwencję o ochronie praw człowieka i podstawowych wolności z 1950 roku. Trybunał w Strasburgu, jak i sądy i trybunały krajowe przede wszystkim skupiały się na wolności sumienia w aspekcie indywidualnym. Widzimy jednak w ślad za badaniami w Stanach Zjednoczonych, w Ameryce Łacińskiej, Południowej, że jest to nowy, interesujący obszar badań.
With me in the Institute of Justice, there are people very strongly involved in our cooperation with our excellent partner from Hungary, without whom this project would not have been possible.
Beginning of a new era of this unique international research project, which is one of the best examples of the Polish-Hungarian friendship. As you all know, we just celebrated Polish-Hungarian Friendship Day a fortnight ago.
Badania we współpracy z Węgrami są czymś nowym, bo do tej pory spotykaliśmy się jako naukowcy na różnych konferencjach międzynarodowych, przede wszystkim organizowanych na zachodzie Europy i wydawało się, że to tam jest ta prawdziwa nauka, jedyna, słuszna. Natomiast okazuje się, że profesorowie zarówno z Polski, jak i z Węgier mają nowe, świeże podejście do wielu kwestii. Mamy te same wspólne europejskie korzenie prawa, oparte przecież na religii chrześcijańskiej, judeo-chrześcijańskiej, na filozofii greckiej i prawie rzymskim. Więc to nasze wschodnie płuco Europy, myślę, że może coś nowego wnieść do nauki, do tej pory przede wszystkim dynamicznie rozwijającej się na zachodzie Europy. Te doświadczenia współpracy polsko-węgierskiej pokazały nam także, że możemy pracować zarówno w platformach, które tutaj organizujemy w Instytucie Wymiaru Sprawiedliwości, ale także tworzą nowe obszary współpracy, chociażby młodych badaczy, którzy spotykają się na konferencjach naukowych. Odbywają się takie konferencje w języku angielskim, więc to też jest ciekawe doświadczenie dla młodych ludzi. A także rozwija się współpraca między uczelniami, które wchodzą w skład naszych platform badawczych.
Dlatego chcemy spróbować, żeby to właśnie Europa Centralna była tym hubem, gdzie będziemy scalać te wszystkie rozwiązania. Nadto będą comiesięczne spotkania naukowców polsko-węgierskich, otwarte, na które już serdecznie zapraszam. Proszę śledzić naszą stronę internetową, media społecznościowe. Będą również artykuły naukowe, no i olbrzymia, na tyle ile możemy, zorganizowana konferencja w Warszawie, gdzie wszyscy wspólnie spotkamy się i będziemy przedstawiali rezultaty naszej platformy. Dobra. Good afternoon. Do you hear us good? Hear us good and see us good? I have a question on the start our meeting. Give me some sign on the chat, for example. Okay. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Marcin Wielec and I am a professor of criminal procedure at the Faculty of Law and Administration of the Polsko-Węgierskiej University in Warsaw. And I also hold the honorable function of the Director of the Institute of Justice in Warsaw. On behalf of the entire management and on behalf of all employees of the Institute of Justice in Warsaw, I would like to welcome you very warmly to the inauguration of the next edition of the research project conducted by our institute under the name of the Polish-Hungarian Research Platform. I would especially like to welcome all the members of the individual research groups of the third edition of this project. I would especially like to welcome all audience gathered online. With special attention and great pleasure, I would like to welcome Mr. Dr. Gabor Todt, representing our key and strategic partners in this project, which is the Ferenc Madl Institute of Comparative Law in Budapest. I would also like to take this opportunity to greet, because previous duties did not allow participation in today's inauguration, head of the Ferenc Madl Institute of Comparative Law in Budapest, Mr. Professor Ede Szilagi, Mrs. Director, Central European Academy at University of Miskolc, Mrs. Professor Tima Barzo, as well as Dr. Katarzyna Zombory from the University of Miskolc. To be honest, without the courtesy of these people, our friends, of course, cooperation between us would not be possible. So, ladies and gentlemen, together with me in the Institute of Justice, there are people very strongly involved in our cooperation with our excellent partner from Hungary, without whom this project would not have been possible. Let me introduce you at the outset to all members, employees and associates of the Institute of Justice in Warsaw, who are directly responsible for the preparation, organization, and implementation of this very large, very pleasant, and fruitful research project. So let me start with a presentation. Mr. Professor Paweł Sobczyk, who is the Deputy Director of the Institute of Justice in Warsaw, as well as the Dean of the Faculty of Law and Administration at the University of Opole in Opole City. The professor is the originator of this project together with me, but due to our managerial functions at the Institute, together with me, he is the person mainly responsible for the preparation and happy course of this project. Mr. Dr. Bartłomiej Oręziak, who is the coordinator of the Center of Strategic Analysis of the Institute of Justice in Warsaw.
Hello, thank you very much.
Mr. Dr. Zbigniew Więckowski. The doctor is the person who will watch and supervise the entire course of the project, starting from compliance with deadlines to the final preparation for the monthly and annual settlement of each member of the project. Mrs. Agata Wróbel, who will support us all in running this huge project, Agata will act as a project assistant. You have already had contact with both Mr. Dr. Zbigniew Więckowski and Agata Wróbel in the initial phase preparation for the project. I will only mention that Agata and Zbigniew, they are very important person for team members because they are both first contact person for us. If there are any questions, problems, or doubts, please do not hesitate to contact them. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear members of the research groups, time is passing quickly, and we have just started our cooperation, and we already have another edition of the research project, Polish-Hungarian Research Platform. We started 3 years ago with an ordinary online meeting between the management of the Institute of Justice in Warsaw and the management of the Ferencz Institute in Budapest. From word to word, we went to the specifics. Later, there was a meeting in Warsaw and the signing of the relevant documents in the presence of the ministers of justice Poland and Hungary, which undoubtedly raises the rank of our cooperation. And so to independent, although related, very huge and serious research projects were created. On the Polish side, our Polish-Hungarian Research Platform was established. On the Hungarian side, the Central European Professors Network was established. Both projects are important for our legal systems. The general idea of our project is to strengthen cooperation between researchers from Poland and Hungary and to develop an appropriate legal framework for individual legal solutions as part of the proposal. That the main results of our project is the base contribute to the improvement, correction of supplementation, and creation of new legal regulation enforced in our countries. Personally, I do not hide that here at the Institute of Justice in Warsaw, we would like to develop universal models of legal solutions that would be beneficial for our communities, not only in Poland and Hungary, but also maybe for the whole of Central Europe. The subject of research within our platform is always current legal issues. That is why in this year, we, in this project, will deal with several researcher areas like this. The issue of more effective protection of farmers, the issue of more effectiveness protection of children with disabilities, the issue of freedom of conscience in the institutional aspects. And solution, last group, solution to increase the effectiveness of the law on counteracting cybercrime. Dear friends, 3 editions of the Polish-Hungarian Research Platform are a huge piece of good and fruitful and efficient work. The previous 2 editions of the Polish-Hungarian Research Platform brought many interesting results. In previous edition, we analyzed such problems as mediation, reform of administrative judiciary, rule of law, constitutional law, effectiveness of justice, management of justice, legal aspects of artificial intelligence, legal protection of other people. Important element in our project is a final books. In Hungary said that a konvik nie ma mesterek. It is mean books are silent teachers. In this reason, each edition of the project ends with the publication of 4 books, each one on the research area. So, it is easy to calculate that after the 3rd edition, we will have 11 books full of serious, insightful, useful, and interesting analyses by many prominent representatives of legal science from Poland and Hungary. Each edition of our platform is a series of conferences. It is also monthly meetings of research groups, scientific articles, disseminations event, interesting conversation, and create interesting ideas. Scientific relationship and friendship are extremely valuable research experience and satisfaction from what you do. It is satisfaction from the fact that we are trying, like this mystical Sisyphus, to roll this heavy stone of science, improving the legal system, responding to contemporary challenges and dangers with specific analysis. We do all for this, for our communities, to address legal issues that are often problematic, often perplex, often mismessage. I think I'm personally sure that the present edition of our project will be successful because the 2 previous editions of our project were very successful. And to be honest, there is one more reason why the implementation of the 3rd edition of this project will be fruitful. It is your knowledge. It is knowledge of researchers from individual research groups and the unquestionable research experience of every researcher in their specialty. That is why I would like to express my gratitude that all of you have decided to take part in a research project. With impatience, curiosity, scientific passions, we wait the final results of your research. And most of all, as every year, we are waiting, as usual, for the annual big, nice, and very pleasure final conference ending our project. This conference will take place directly here in Warsaw at the headquarters of our institute. I assure you, it will be an unforgettable moment. I simply say, it will be a great opportunity to finally meet in person and exchange your opinion, ideas, and hopes. And at the end of my speech, I wish you all many ideas, interesting insights, research inspiration, health, and see you at online and live meetings here in Warsaw. My friends, so thank you very much. And I give the floor in accordance with the agenda of our meeting to Dr. Gabor Todt from Ferenc Máté Institute of Comparative Law in Budapest. Gabor, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Do you hear me?
Yes, I hear you.
Fine. Thank you very much. Thank you, Marcin. Dear Director Wielec, Deputy Director Sobczyk, dear professors, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank you for the opportunity to welcome you all on behalf of the Ferenc Máté Institute of Comparative Law on the occasion of the inauguration of the Polish-Hungarian Research Platform. I'm very proud and glad to celebrate with you the beginning of a new year of this unique international research project, which is one of the best examples of the Polish-Hungarian friendship. As you all know, we just celebrated Polish-Hungarian Friendship Day a fortnight ago on the 23rd of March. The declaration on its establishment was adopted on the 12th of March 2007 by a decision of the Hungarian Parliament, and 4 days later, on the 16th of March, a similar resolution was adopted by the Polish Parliament as well. Among the latest milestones of our brilliant cooperation in the field of research, I would like to draw your attention to a bevy of important scientific events in the last year. Acknowledged scholars from Poland and Hungary, together with excellent professors of other Central and Eastern European countries, had utmost interesting presentations on the following topics of high importance for our entire region: constitutional values, diaspora policies, international public law, sustainable finance, cross-border acquisition of agricultural lands, right to privacy in general terms and with a view to the digital age, protection of future generations and the environment, parental responsibility, legal protection of state and national symbols in Central Europe, European challenges, Central European responses in criminal science. From the gladly long list of scientific conferences, let me highlight 3 events at the end of the year to show how colorful the cooperation between our scholars in the region could be. On the 17th of October, our Polish friends organized a conference on the initiative of the Scientific Circle of Criminal Procedural Law, working at the Faculty of Law and Administration of Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński University in Warsaw, to deal with contemporary problems in criminal procedure. The partners of the event were the Institute of Justice in Warsaw, the Ferenc Madel Institute of Comparative Law, the Central European Academy, University of Miskolc, and the Scientific Association for Comparative Law in Poland. The event was ceremonially opened by Professor Dr. Marcin Wielec. The presentations of the conference were held by professors from Croatia, Romania, Serbia, and predominantly from Poland and Hungary. As one of the topics of cardinal importance in recent debates within the European Union, nation, state, and sovereignty were the discussed subjects of the conference on the 15th of November 2022 in the Central European Academy of the University in Miskolc in Budapest. At this occasion, among distinguished lecturers from other countries in the Central European region and also from Hungary, Grzegorz Pastuszko from the University of Rzeszów introduced a book entitled Constitutional and Legal Protection of State and National Symbols in Central Europe, and Aleksandra Sirit from Cardinal Stefan Wyszyński University in Warsaw held a presentation, State and National Symbols as Values in the Constitution of the Republic Poland. Organized by the Central European Professors Network, an initiative of the Ferenc Madel Institute of Comparative Law, a scientific conference on the 24th of November 2022 at the University of Miskolc dealt with legal aspects of the protection of future generations in Central Europe, and the participants discussed the good practices and developments at the constitutional level and current challenges in the legal order. One of the research groups of the Professors Network handled questions raised in accordance with the protection of the environment and future generations in Central Europe, and worked on the comparative analysis of the constitutional situation there. The book, Constitutional Protection of the Environment and Future Generations, Legislation and Practice in Certain Central and Eastern European Countries, written by the members of the research group, was also introduced at the conference by Bartosz Rákóczi from the Nicolaus Copernicus University in Torun. Bartosz Majerczak from the University of Warsaw spoke about the constitutional framework for planning acts as legal forms of administration's activity in environmental protection, on the example of Poland. As a tribute to one of the most important issues for the future of our continent and for the entire world nowadays, Children's Rights Days were organized in December 2022 in Budapest, with excellent lecturers from Poland, Hungary, and several other European countries. In one of the panels dealing with experiences in protection of children, Mikołaj Paweł Pawlak, Ombudsman for the Rights of the Child of Poland, delivered a very interesting and informative speech. Additionally, Agnieszka Tomczewska, Deputy Director of the Ministry of Justice of Poland, presented the legislative initiatives of the ministry aimed to prevent domestic abuse. According to the main goals of the platform, a large variety of scientific books delivered other proof for the fruitful cooperation of our countries in the framework of Polish-Hungarian Research Platform and Central European Professors Network. Titles of the books marked by the close cooperation, Constitutional Reasoning and Constitutional Interpretation, edited by Zoltán Jétót, The Impact of Digital Platforms and Social Media on the Freedom of Expression and Pluralism, edited by Marcin Wielec, Religious Symbols in the Public Sphere, edited by Paweł Sobczyk, Family Protection from a Legal Perspective, edited by Timea Barzo and Barnabas Lenkovic, and in the year 2022, Constitutional Legal Protection of State and National Symbols in Central Europe, edited by Zoltán Jétót, Constitutional Protection of the Environment and Future Generations, edited by János Edeszilágyi, Content of the Right to Parental Responsibility, edited by Paweł Sobczyk, The Right to Privacy in the Digital Age, edited by Marcin Wielec. Another important field of the scientific cooperation is the Central European Junior Program, initiated by the Ferenc Mária Institute to support young researchers of our region. In the framework of this program, we established a book series under the title Legal Studies on Central Europe. In the last year, 10 books were published in this series with the following topics: acquisition of agricultural lands, comparative constitutionalism in Central Europe, contract law in East Central Europe, European challenges and Central European responses in criminal science of the 21st century, the development of European and regional integration, theories in Central European countries, fundamentals of labor law in Central Europe, international law, lectures on East Central European legal history, the policies of the European Union from a Central European perspective, regulation of public finances in light of financial constitutionality. We strongly hope and are entirely sure that the work of the Polish-Hungarian Research Platform will strengthen the scientific outcome of our region. With goals for the next year, such as legal protection of children with disabilities, legal protection of farmers, countering cybercrime, freedom of conscience in the institutional aspect, we are able to deliver an important contribution to the European scientific debates and strengthen the apprehension of the voice and thoughts of Central and Eastern European traditions and theories. I wish you fruitful cooperation, important scientific results, effective networking within and around the research teams, and additional values and grounds for new friendships among scholars in our countries and with other scientists in Europe and the world. Thank you very much for your invitation and for your attention.
Gabor, thank you very much for your words. I'm looking at the agenda. According to our agenda, the next person is a deputy of the director of the Institute of Justice and the dean of the Faculty of Law in the University of Opole, Professor Paweł Sobczyk. Paweł, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, dear professors, dear colleagues and friends. Good afternoon from Warsaw. Today we are inaugurating the Polish-Hungarian Research Platform for the third time. In the work of 4 research teams, we went to preserve what was worked last year and introduce small improvements. So first, some general information about all teams. At the request of the Ministry of Justice of Republic of Poland, after numerous consultations, we propose research in the following areas: legal protection of farmers, legal protection of children with disabilities, freedom of conscience in the institutional aspect, cybercrime. For this year, our goals are conducting an in-depth research and open discussion correlating with the research issues. development of numerous lege ferenda proposals. This is very important for our Ministry of Justice and for Institute of Justice. The lege ferenda proposals results should be applicable both in theory and practice of law. So we expect the following results from the work of our research team. In-depth analysis of 4 research areas, publication of at least 4 peer-reviewed monographs, publication of last 24 peer-reviewed scientific papers, organization of at least 24 open scientific seminars, and organization of an international conference in Poland, November 2023. Now I will introduce 4 research teams. First team, legal protection of farmers. The main task of the team is proposal for the legal framework for more effective protection of farmers. So, important research subjects include welfare of livestock, contemporary legal conditions of the agricultural real estate market, contracting fund to est. They are part of the research team. Professor János Edelszilagyi, team leader from Hungary, Professor Marcin Wielec, and Professor Zsófia Horniak from Hungary, and team from Poland, Professor Rafał Adamus, Professor Artur Lis, and Professor Marek Strzała. The second team is legal protection of children with disabilities. The main task of the team is proposal for the legal framework for more effective protection of children with disabilities. Important research subjects include evaluation of existing and planned legislation, national and international law standard, future challenges including new technologies regarding the issues of children with disabilities. They are part of the research team, Professor Katarzyna Orszewska, team leader from Poland, and Professor Wojciech Lis and Professor Paweł Zając from Poland. A Hungarian part of this team is Professor Nora Jakab, Professor Zsuzsa Wopera, and Professor Marta Beniusz from Hungary. The third team is freedom of conscience and the institutional aspect. The main task of the team is proposal for the legal framework of freedom of conscience in the institutional aspect. So important recent subject for us include inter alia use of a doctrine of freedom of conscience in the institutional aspect, jurisprudence of freedom of conscience in the institutional aspect, the activity of various entities, including hospitals, healthcare institutions, schools, and others. They are part of the research team, Professor Laurent Csink from Hungary as a team leader, Professor Adam Richter from Hungary, and Professor Balázs Sanda from Hungary too. And Polish part of this team is Professor Marta Osuchowska, Professor Zdzisław Zarzycki, and Professor Michał Zawiślak. The last but not least, fourth team is cybercrime. The main task of the team is proposal for the legal framework of reference for combating cybercrime. Important research subjects include inter alia solution to increase the effectiveness of cybercrime law, new types of cybercrimes, proposal for methods to protect vulnerable groups from cybercrime, current and protected future trends in cybercrime. Team leader, it will be Professor Agnieszka Gryszczyńska from Poland, and other part from Poland is Professor Piotr Burczaniuk and Professor Rafał Wielki. From Hungary, Professor Judith Jaczo, Professor Erika Roth, and Professor Ferenc Szanta. Sorry for my Polish English interpretation of Hungarian names and surnames. I try, but it's very, very difficult for me. Last words, ladies and gentlemen, dear professors, dear colleagues, thank you very much for accepting our invitation to scientific cooperation in 2023. We are very happy and glad. I wish you, with all our team, creative scientific work, many fruitful scientific meetings, and great results. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Paweł. So I'm looking at the agenda again, and we are full of our agenda. Maybe someone do have some questions, some insights, some ideas in this moment. Everything in this time is clear, I think. So thank you once again to everyone for participating in today's ceremonial inauguration of our project. Thank you for your submissions to our project. It is a great honor to us to work with such well-known specialists. I wish you success in the work of individual research groups. And by the way, I wish you all a peaceful and healthy Easter. And see you at the organization meeting after Easter, because it's a habit for our project. After our inauguration, we will plan the organizational meeting after the Easter. We give you via mail some information soon. Okay. So, thank you very much. See you on the next and last conference and the next meeting after Easter. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
See you.
Thank you. See you.